So thank you for my perfect. All right. So thank you for my great participants. Hello and welcome to the Intro to Fashion Industry course. Thank you for attending your first day of class. This PowerPoint presentation is a resource that comes from the suite version of your required textbook in Fashion 4 edition. And I will have these slides and the resources on our D2L shell for your class, and they will be available after each class from here on. If you need me to email you a copy, let me know by request. Additionally, today's activities and materials will be available after class if you need to look over anything, and there are paper versions. Our course is split into 3 parts, part 1, 2, and 3. Part 1, the changing world of fashion. Part 2, the primary level, which covers the materials of fashion. And part 3, which is the secondary level, which covers the producers of fashion. Today we'll be going over chapter 1, the nature of fashion. Your objectives today, at the end of the class, will be able to, students will be able to explain the difference between the definitions of fashion, identify the merchandise categories of fashion, explain the environmental influences on fashion, and explain legislation that impacts the fashion industry. Let's take time to introduce ourselves. No prep time is needed. I want you to include your name, where you're from, your background with fashion, and I want to challenge you to keeping your fashion definitions at 10 words or less. Let's try using only 10 words. That way you can get to the gut of what fashion means to you. I'll start with student 1.
My name is LaFave Dean. I'm from Decatur, Georgia. And my experience with fashion since a young child, being on the cutting edge and expressing myself uniquely.
Thank you very much. And I'll start with student 2, Felita.
My name is Felita Daniel Tacapio. I am from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. My experience and background with fashion, during my college days, I modeled locally. And just on a personal level, my family was always dressed neatly. Take pride in your dress and how you look when you go out into the community. In my own words, describe fashion means to me. Individuality, power, uniqueness.
Very good. And our third student.
My name is Darlene Haynes. I'm from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Fashion to me is what works for me as far as style, comfort, and I'm a very conservative dresser. I was always, from a child, dressed conservatively as a child for my mom.
Thank you. And thank you for introducing yourselves and sharing your fashion interpretations. Before we dive into today's lesson, I want you to quickly discuss the importance of understanding of what fashion is and what it means to each of us as individuals. In short, fashion is truly different for all. Here are 6 prominent fashion designers who all have had very distinct definitions and descriptions of how they interpret fashions. Are any of you familiar with these fashion designers that you see here listed?
Some of them, yes.
Student 1, what do you think? Okay.
Some. Coco, Chanel, Ralph Lauren, Donatella Versace.
Okay. You?
Same.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Felita? Do you see the slide?
Yes, same, all of them.
Okay, gotcha. And let's start with you, LaFave. Which designers do you feel resonate with your definition of fashion? And can you read that quote to me?
I would say Donatella.
I'm sorry.
I was asking LaFave which fashion quote resonates with her the most.
I would say Donatella Versace. Fashion is about happiness, it's fun, it's important, but it's not medicine.
Nice. Felita, what is yours? Which one do you resonate with the most out of these quotes?
I would say Coco Chanel. Fashion is not something that exists in dresses only. Fashion is in the sky, it's in the street. Fashion has to do with ideas and the way we live and what's happening.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. And Darlene?
Ralph Lauren, fashion is not necessarily about labels. It's not about brands, it's about something else that comes from within you.
Very good. Thank y'all for sharing. So now I hope you understand that this course is dependent on your own take on what fashion is, just as it depends on information from this book. Without knowledge, these well-known fashion designers would not have the longevity in their careers, but without their own interpretations, they would not have the influence and success in their careers. So again, we've had your own definition of fashion, and then we've had interpretations from fashion designers. Let's look at this Webster's Dictionary version. Prevailing custom, usage, or style. In this sense, it covers a wide range of human activity. And then we see some certain words pop up. We see accepted, majority, any one time, prevailing custom, particular time. Fashion truly is about people being comfortable, being represented in what they wear. And if you ask me what my take is, fashion is truly what you make it. And that is my quote. Let's go into this next slide. There is a very organized and less whimsical part of fashion. Here, marketing and merchandising enter the chat. If you are taking this class, you now have the opportunity to decipher which part of fashion you want to be a part of, if not both. The business side of fashion or the design side. There are careers that combine both sides, which we will get into later. With marketing, think techniques to promote goods and services, raising brand awareness over a long period of time. And with merchandising, think about how products are presented and arranged to draw customers in and increase sales. So let's look at a few fashion careers. A few, right? Yes, these are several. But I say a few because listing or mapping an inclusive list would take the entirety of the class to cover. So while reviewing this career map, think about this question. Which part of the fashion industry are you interested in the most? Pick two careers and briefly give a reason, and with time, let's just do one each. Growing up, I'll go first. I was interested in merchandising. I like the concept of selling a item in the store, and depending on how you place it, how you arrange it, it could increase or decrease sales, and that fascinates me. How about you?
I would say fashion technology, just because of the way in which fashion can be intermingled with the way things change and progress in our culture, be it electronics, be it digital, be it things that provide that technological edge.
Thank you very much.
I like fashion styling.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to be a professional styler for an individual for occasions and their personalities.
Gotcha, thank you. And then Felita?
I would say fashion modeling, because you get to see the new styles before they come out, and often sometimes you get to keep the clothes.
Yes, that is a part. And as you see, the three of us, all with different aspects and interests, truly would be working under one umbrella. As a fashion designer or a fashion house or a fashion brand, you would need everyone to be participating. So thank you for sharing. If you don't mind, keep that in the back of your head. We're going to go through that one more time towards the end. If you can make note of that somewhere, you may want to. If not, I understand. We'll piggyback and circle around back on this a little later. Here are some misconceptions about fashion. The first misconception proposes that designers and retailers control fashion trends and force consumers to buy anything. That's false. Think back on all the careers and positions that we just viewed from the concept map. And then think about what we just talked about, how they all work together. Fashion designers take deep and constant research attempts and analyses with their designers, with their team, their merchandisers, their managers, to accurately predict what fashions are going to be appropriate for each season. So literally, it takes everybody that you see here to figure out what's going to be the hot thing next. Excuse me. A second misconception proposes that fashion influences only women. That's false. Fashion is for everyone. Fashion is partaken by all, voluntarily and involuntarily. And we all know that there are men's wear and children's wear. So that statement is absolutely not true. The third misconception proposes that fashion is a mystery and hard to pinpoint. That's false. This is far from the truth. Do you know that anyone can roughly predict fashion through a theory called the fashion pendulum? And this is what this pendulum looks like. The fashion pendulum is simply a theory that is supposed to be a periodic movement between two opposite points of an exaggeration in a style. So to quickly explain this, let's talk about jeans. Okay, we all wear jeans. We've worn them before. We dealt with them. Let's think back. High-waist jeans, tapered jeans, they were all the rage in the 90s and the 80s. Right now, skinny jeans are leaving. But skinny jeans took over in the early 2000s, and they're just now taking a break from skinny jeans. Skinnies, as they have been called, have had a stronghold on everyone for the past 20 years roughly. Now, can you guess which style of jean is back and better than ever? So if tapered and then high-waisted jeans were in at one point, and skinny jeans came in, and then what would the opposite of skinny jeans be? Bell bottoms. That's right. So, a softer styled, natural waist, looser jean, whether bell bottom or their boyfriend, dad jeans, or mom jean style are back in. And we will get into details about that later on in the year. A straight or wide leg jean is really hot right now with the young generation, very coveted and preferred. And it was a push from Gen Z and Gen Alpha. They're under us. But they got on social media and they were urging us, millennials and Gen Xers and baby boomers, to throw your skinny jeans away just based on their own opinion. And from that, people have. And then the pendulum still swings. And so as the looser jeans right now are in, it'll go right back to skinny jean being the preferred. But something happened here. As the pendulum still swings, as millennials and Gen Xers chose to keep their skinnies based on the simple fact that the silhouette was found suitable for different body types and shapes, they became a classic. So skinny jeans are now a classic. Here's a second pendulum. Another way to look at it as in contrast to the first pendulum is whatever is current will soon be out, and whatever was in the past will soon be the future. And that's always going to be a back and forth battle. Let's talk about terminology. Before we do that, though, do you have any questions, concerns, or comments? Clea?
No,
Okay. Do you want to take a 2-minute break or keep going?
I'm good.
Okay. Let's talk about terminology. Fashion, style, classic have all been mentioned, but can you clearly decipher and define them without looking at this here screen? Could you have done that before? Classic, style, fashion. Possibly. Have you taken time to think about the difference between style and taste?
Yes.
Give me your own interpretation on style and taste. What's different about style in contrast to taste?
Well, if you find wide-legged pants that's in style, I might not, that's not my taste.
Oh, that's good.
That's not my taste.
Good job, Darlene. Anybody want to take a take at that?
I was going to say the style being the masses and the taste being your personal.
That's good. That's really good. Often, people will use those two interchangeably, but when we talk about our personal style, we're actually talking about taste. Here you see that style refers to the distinct features of a garment, its uniqueness, whereas fashion is a wide acceptance of a certain style. And here is a quote from Lauren Hutton. And she says that fashion is what you're offered 4 times a year by the masses, by designers, and style is what you choose.